Entry for November 13th, 2013. How can you ever know for sure? You've been raised to believe in science and logic, and yet without letting it go and challenging even the most ingrained mathematics of your being, how can you know you see clearly? Why believe? Why feel strongly towards anything? You're suffering from the same fundamental flaw that religious people suffer from. It seems ultimately logical to let go of everything and believe in nothing. Not religion, not atheism, not science, not logic, anything. Nothing whatsoever. Instead, you remain an observer who collects data. I've said this many times before, but I keep coming across reasons to think this. Comparisons to not only religious people, but also scientific people. The reason I bring this up is because I come across so many party lines, right? It's Democrats versus Republicans. It's atheists versus religious people. Science versus misinformation people. I don't know what you call them exactly, but pseudoscience, I guess. All these people, to me, because I always feel like an outsider to all these groups, but whenever I look in at them, I just see two parties that believe in something. And I just ask myself, why do they believe in anything? Isn't all these problems rooted in this one fundamental problem? You have a belief in something. One of the ways I tried to visualize it, I don't know if it was earlier on or later on after this journal entry, but I imagined an artificial intelligence that was flicked on one day and how it might go about thinking about the world. It would probably just act as a data gatherer. It would look at it, all its whatever input devices it had. It would be gathering that data and then just putting it in a database, and somehow it would be creating patterns that allow it to interpret the world in some sense. And it seems to me that an artificial intelligence would probably be able to forego believing in things and would rather just base its interpretation of reality off of prior data. And humans kind of do this, but then we also do this other thing where we believe in patterns. We believe that this pattern of information, this data that I've gathered over time, is somehow more right than data that you've gathered. And I thought about that, and I was like, okay, so let's say we have this artificial intelligence, and it's stuck on Earth, and it thinks that all the humans are kind of silly for all their beliefs. And one point that we both agree on, the artificial intelligence and the humans, is that 2 + 2 = 4. And it equals 4 everywhere in the universe. It just makes sense, right? Now, the humans and the AI go out, and the artificial intelligence comes across a location in the universe where 2 + 2 doesn't quite equal 4. For whatever reason, the physics in this location are messed up. And for whatever reason, 2 + 2 = something else. It doesn't matter what it is. And when the AI returns to the human race and says this, it's so unbelievably irrational that we just assume that the machine has a glitch or something like that. And maybe it does. But let's assume that it doesn't. This would be just like a belief that's interfering with actual data that's out there, right? This artificial intelligence comes back with actual data that shows that 2 + 2 does not actually equal 4 all of the time. And yet, we would never trust that information from the artificial intelligence because it just goes against everything we've been taught, right? It's so crazy to even consider that we would just disregard it as a glitch until, of course, we went there ourselves and read the data and realized, oh, well, the artificial intelligence was actually right. The point is that the artificial intelligence represents other people on this planet, right? It's this idea that we have to individually, for whatever reason, we have to independently always be verifying things, but we can't see everything. We don't have enough time to go out and collect all the data. So we just assume that the data we already have explains pretty much everything. And when we come across things that are so counter to how we think, we just brush it off as a glitch, as something that can't possibly be right. And usually we don't bother to actually go out and look into it because it just is so crazy. It just seems so crazy that it can't be right. So that was one of the ways that I was thinking about it, is just we need to approach this more like the artificial intelligence would. It's just a machine for gathering and observing data and not actually believing in the patterns that it comes across, but rather than just calmly updating the database, right? Think of your mind as the database. It just, 2 plus 2 doesn't equal 4 in this portion of the universe. There's no emotion. There's no, oh my God, this breaks everything, or I can't even believe this because this is too unbelievable. It just places it properly. If the AI came back and talked to another AI, maybe that AI would say, in however it thinks, it would think, okay, I'm going to label this as a certain probability. 2 plus 2 does not equal 4 in this portion of the universe. Probability 60% or something. It has no emotion. It just calmly makes a calculation and says, okay, there's a 60% chance that you're right. I'm going to say a 40% chance you're wrong. There's a glitch in your system or whatever. And then it will go out and calmly validate and go, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. 100% 2 plus 2 does not equal 4 in this portion of the universe. Humans can approach it the same way. You can calmly listen to people and consider things that seem alien to you or seem just, there's no way this could be right. You're stupid. This is dumb, whatever, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do that. You can just be an observer, collect data. And I don't know, like for me, it's been this, I guess an enlightening kind of realization. I've stopped feeling so emotional about other people's arguments or how they care about things and all, just all this mess of negativity that follows different thinking, different beliefs. You just get over it and you go, it's just data. That's all it is. I'm an observer, that's data, and I'm slowly filling my database full of information. That's it. Yeah. I guess, try it out. It's not like you have to permanently think that way. Just try for a week to just be the observer. Put yourself in that third perspective and see how the world changes in your vision. Hopefully that made sense. I was just kind of spitballing there, tried to make this point, but yeah, I guess let me know what you think in the comments. If maybe I didn't explain it super well, you can let me know. But thanks for listening as always, and please consider subscribing above or below. I can't remember where it is.